Okay, so I have one very important piece of information that it's important for people that are building that are having errors with version informations or deflate errors, things like that. And additionally, I'm also here to say that I've built Cairo, which I can't believe that. And I have actually a full set of patches for it, which I can't believe that either. I think there's some files in there that probably aren't even necessary, but they may be for later on. And I have a full, I have a patch set for Python 34 finally that doesn't require the use of a make file. It actually, you know, to copy in at the right time to get the right build. It actually works. And instead of the Zlib module not being built, now it's the NIS module that doesn't build. But I don't think it could build because I looked at the source of the NIS module and it wants an rpc.h header, and I don't think Haiku has one. So, having said that, I have yet, but I probably, by the time anybody even realizes this is up and looks at my video, I probably by that time would have put up the patches for Cairo up to my GitHub. My repository is Linux CP8. Look in the patches one. The Confederate patches one is very old. I've learned a lot since I've done that one. Now to the important stuff. About what happens with library Z. Basically, the issues with library Z. And here's the problem that I don't know how to resolve other than, well, doing somewhat of a hack, at least at this stage, until I learn more about how and why. I don't even know if it's in my control to solve the issue that I was having. I do know that all you have to do is just copy the library Z binary out of that comes with Haiku and replace the one that builds with Haiku. Put it in boot home package libraries. Just replace it and make sure you rename the binary that comes over from Haiku to the, the number that package source expects it to be in boot home package library, and you're good. You won't have an issue with this, and you want to do this very early and have it be one of the first things you do. That along with building Flex if you patch it, and you're probably going to want to patch it, because if you don't, later on when you try to build things, some of the build processes won't be able to find Flex. So I have patches up for Flex as well. So there were a few, and then there was there were a few instances as I update, things are getting a little bit messier. But sometimes I'm able to recover. So I'm gonna actually put up the binary it came from Haiku, and I've renumbered it, and I'm gonna put that up at Git. I'm gonna put it in the Zlib folder. And so even though I have patches for Zlib that allows it to build, at the end of the day, it doesn't have any versioning information in it. And what I mean by versioning information is not what you see on the it's not what you see on the sorry about that. On as the name of the binary, it's something that you only see when you run the readelf program against library Z. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to show exactly what this is and when the linking process takes place. That is to say, you build a program or a library thereof, and when it's done compiling, it forms larger binaries than the parts that have been compiled. Puts all the different parts together, makes a binary, and sometimes it reaches out and wants to get a library from the system. in my case, lib TCL86, when it looked for the library Z, it looked for it in boot home. Boot system develop library, where the library Z with versioning information in, which I'll show, it linked with that. And then when I tried to build TK Gate, which is a chat program, it tried to link up with the library TCL86, but instead of reaching back to the boot home system, like boot system library develop library, it's so long. The one that comes with Haiku, it tried to link up with one that I had built, the Z library I had built with package source that has no versioning information in it. I've done a little bit of looking into this. It's not really clear as to why. When I run make install, I don't get versioning information embedded in my Z library, but for some reason when they do it over in Haiku land, it does. It could be a problem with the GCC that ships with Haiku. It could be, for some reason, versioning isn't passed out unless you compile things in the special read-only packet, use Haiku Porter, like a good boy. Or, it could be the runtime loader won't pass on the versioning under certain, I just don't know. Maybe it doesn't. But it seems to be that people that try to compile things outside of the Haiku Porter land, which I actually don't even know how to get a recipe to work yet. If I make my own recipe, it would require a lot of effort, and I would have not nearly got as far as I have, nor would I be able to come up with any answers if I'd done that, because I'd have to make all the recipes, or a lot of recipes. I'm dealing with 11,000 packages here, and I have up to 4,000 that I could build, and a lot of them are Perl packages that I don't believe are available in Haiku Porter, and Python packages. So anyway, getting back to this, or they're older, and I want to see how things are now. My purpose is to get information so we can use the information and bring it back into Haiku Porter. So let's just do this. So this, if I do the readelf of library Z that's located in boot system develop library, you get all that stuff, which of course you saw before. If I do the readelf from the binary that's right now hanging out in package source in one of the directories, I just rebuilt it to see what would happen. It says there's no version information found in the file. So what happens is of course, when the TCL library tried to link up to create TC Gate, link up with library Z, it actually TCL 86 SO 102 was created by linking up with library Z. It says, sorry, I need a version here because it was created with version. So it kind of spreads like a virus. It's, so I don't know. I don't know what packages, and I haven't really done anything to, I don't consciously sit here and say, oh, I think this time I'm going to decide to link up against boot system develop library, and this time I'm going to decide. I've done that with headers, but actually I've avoided doing that kind of thing this time, purposely. There is an option in package source, supposedly, where you can use the built-in Zlib, but it had no effect on this build. And I think that actually that only applies to when you create library Z, but even when I do that, the resulting library, as you can see, has no versioning information found in the file. The file has a number on it, but that's not what the linker's looking for. You know, you can call it libzso.1000. You know, if it's got the right versioning information in it, it'll link. In it, embedded in it, this stuff up here. So, what I've done to resolve this is I just took the, you can do one of two things. It's probably cleaner just to go to boot system, develop library, look for your library Z. There it is. Get them. Well, oh, they're all symbolic links. Well, let's get the info. Where is it actually? Boot system library instead of boot system develop library, and down here. You want to copy this somewhere. Probably to boot package, boot on package library, file, let's see, paste, aroma. Gotta wait for it to want to count all these things. But you're not done just pasting it, because it's got to be the same number the package source gave it. So I'm gonna rename this. And these are actually the exact same version of library Z. And I'm going to replace the other file. So I'm done. So there we have a. I've already done that before. That's why it's already said September 30th. That's when that library Z was created. And now when I go to build TKGate or the other things, of course I'm not going to have that problem. So I put a copy. I'm going to put a copy of this up at GitHub. There it is. Just put it there. Still have the two patches, but you want it to build because you want package source to believe you have a build, but it doesn't solve everything. And even though there is some minor difference between the Z header that comes stock with Haiku, or at least it was that way in the version I had from July, than with the stock library Z that comes with everything else, I don't think that's the reason why when things build it doesn't get any versioning information. So don't know what the cause is there or why that's happening, but it's not good. So right now what I have this stealth problem that is gonna hang around. The reason why you want to do this first, and the reason why I've said you want to do this first and the flex thing first, is because you don't want to have any inconsistencies. What might end up happening is I'm gonna come across other packages or libraries that was built without the version information, linked up with the library Z without the version information, but now it's going to want to link up with the library with the version information, and it'll be the opposite problem. It'll say that information's not found, so I have to rebuild all of those packages as I find them. At least I know what the reason is. At least I have a solution. What you want to do if you're starting out is the first thing you want to do is build library Z, build flex for the patches. Those are the first two things you want to do, and maybe even library Z first. And then replace the symbolic links will stay intact. Just use the same number. Replace the existing library Z with the one you get from Haiku. Put it in there with the same name. Get rid of the old one, and then build your flex. And those are the only two things that are fundamental that happen all the time that needs to work. With Cairo, at least at this stage of where I have things built, I had to edit the package source package list, and I guess that'll tell me exactly what that meant. This is not a fake build. This is a real build. It's just that some parts, of course, couldn't be built because as Cairo put it, when the configure portion was done and was ready to start making the make file, it basically says that you need a real pthreads library, a real Zlib, and something else. And so what ends up not being built is Cairo trace. And it's an option to build Cairo without trace. I did, despite what Diger had done already, I did build this with Zlib built in, and it worked. So, patches that I actually have here, or patch to configure AC I got from Haiku ports. Basically what was missing were headers. And up at one of the Haiku development websites, there was a bug reported. Haiku doesn't provide a shared memory header or something like that. And what gets confusing, but I think I've got this right, is that there's a shm.h header that Haiku is making, and then there's an shm.h header that XCB provides. But when I looked at the source code for Cairo, it wanted to read both headers. So you don't need just one, you need actually both of them. So you don't want to build Cairo unless you have XCB built already. Now, Diger had the settings to not have the XCB. You can accomplish it that way. He didn't have any patches, so I added patches for everything that I found. There was one patch in Cairo test that's in Haiku ports. I can tell you what's wrong with if that patch set is marked as broken, I can tell you why it is. So there's a header called FENV that is actually specific. There's 4 of them, and at least there's one for x86, one for x86-64, one for ARM, and maybe one for PPC. But I might as well just look, make sure I get this right. I know there's more than one of them. That's really the point. Well, I'm not sure if it's the point. It seems to be the point. There's probably actually 1, 2, 3, 6 FENV headers. Okay. When I ended up copying this and turning it into a patch and patching it in because I wasn't even sure if it was being pathed. Ends up, it didn't matter because the variables from this FENV doesn't satisfy, or there's some kind of conflict between the way the code is written in the FENV.h here and what Cairo wants. And I'll favor Cairo every time, but in this case I actually didn't really know how to fix it, so I just got rid of the FENV part. It was an if-def. If FENV exists, then this gibberish here that of course caused the compile to fail. So being that it wasn't necessary, and it appears that we don't really, I don't know what degree of functionality exists in this thing anyway. I guess they're I don't know what they are, exception flags or whatever. It was just 3 lines in an if-def, and I got rid of the if-def in 2 files. The rest I was just making sure to path, because sometimes things seem to path, sometimes things don't seem to path. So I pretty much hard pathed. And if it didn't work, then I brought the damn thing down into the directory and made a patch out of the header. And they were built. And so, but it was built on the foundation that I had resolved the issue with that library X11 with those patches. And if I didn't resolve those right, this probably would not have built. And before there was a linking error that I don't have now. Why that is, I don't know, but things are going better overall. So, before I went through the archivers category, and I've cleaned this up a little bit, now I've got like 87 different notes of various things that have happened at various times during my process of getting things built. Everything crossed out here I've actually been able to build in the archivers category. If I haven't, I know why, because I have a note there. Now, I haven't really retried any of these ones, but I'm almost willing to bet that a couple of these will actually just build without any real explanation. And on the other hand, I've had, in rare cases, things that used to build that don't build anymore. And it almost seems like the headers haven't really changed. Which is odd, but true. So, I don't understand it, but it's the way things are. Benchmarks. So, things are going pretty well. So I've got basically, from where I was before, I've got everything back that I had before. But I only tried the things that I built before. Benchmarks, same deal. I only tried the things that I was able to build before. Then I'm going to go back and do everything. Biology, same deal, got everything back. Cat, same deal, got everything back. Chat, not only did I get everything back, but I just decided I was just going to let it do the whole thing, because there's a lot of them. And I had other things I had to do. I ended up getting 9 new builds, but losing one existing build where I know I didn't patch or change anything for the IRC2 package. So I finally decided, I'm just gonna do a package add with my old package, which is what I did with Python 2.7.6 and Go Object Introspection. I also did that with library TCL until I figured out what the answer was, and then I rebuilt it. So I'm gonna have up at my repository, I already have the package for Go Object Introspection, the package for Python, the .a file for FFTW that didn't build for reasons that blow my mind, and also I'm going to have this Zlib library file up at the Git repository, so you could actually just use that and replace the one that builds from package source. But I'm also going to have the IRC2 binary up there. I wasn't able to resolve this by, taking Haiku's headers down into the local directory, putting quotes around them, and editing it till it worked the way I wanted them to. I just couldn't really make out what the issues were. It seemed like it would just cascade and kept wanting to read back at the... So I just, forget it. I'm not going to spend 4 or 5 hours trying to smith out why the package that used to build won't build anymore. Most of the time that isn't the case. Most of the time I'm getting more builds than I did before. So my numbers were used to be in the chat category. We're used with about 9 more. Still not all that great. I mean, 50 out of 138. Maybe a little over 30%. So I wish I had a better result, but I don't. But at the same time, when I look at some of these errors, and there's some other thing. I still don't have the perfect Python 27 build. It's having trouble loading the library XML module, which a lot of these packages want. I could probably build another 10 here if I actually had that working. Some of these other packages just are very complicated, so I thought I was going to be able to build it because I wanted Cairo, but nope. Now that's over with. Now it wants Emacs. So, file systems I've restored. Next one I'm going to go through are the comms. And I'm going to say at the end of the day that I think that when I ended here, what percentages do I add? 41%. I looked at chat and Devel. I'm pretty much finished with Devel. I'm not gonna, unless I really focus on it, and I still have 750 packages that are unbuilt. Although I'm probably gonna do another run now that I've copied that Z library in. You know, I've got an additional 100, right? That's one of the bigger categories. In general, I'm going to still end up at around 42% or something like that. Unless, of course, Cairo opens up. The fact that I have Cairo built opens up this big floodgate of possibilities. But until such time as I get an executable library X11 that will actually work in my system, and I don't know if it will, but my overall goal and mission at this stage, or I want to call it a mission, purpose, was to have a tool set available that would get people started. You're just on it right now. If you were to take all my once I upload all my patches and all that stuff, if you were to use my stuff, you would, just as a matter of course, get all the way to where I'm at. So you'll have probably close to 5,000 packages built. And before I didn't have glut. I didn't have glue. I had glue and I had Mesa. I didn't have glut. I didn't have Cairo. And I've got a higher rate here and there. Yeah, I might get up to 5,500. I might get close to 50% here. Or maybe more, depending on how things go. So, but anyway, I want people to get up to be able to just have something they can use to right away get up to this point. And I want to keep it this way. You know, periodically when the new pack source comes out, I'm going to take it nightly and I'm just going to do it again and do it again and keep staying at around this level, updating patches. I'm going to have my patches labeled by the version that they're for. I've went ahead and I've because I have a special version of Haiku that actually doesn't have the strings header included. I went ahead and in any case that I found that the strings header was missing, I've added it as part of the patches. Now, it's a lot more work to look through 750 uncompiled packages to see what caused it and how I could solve it. But I'm going to want to do that. I'm going to want to dig into more of these categories. Hopefully, the uncompiled packages that will remain will be of a lower number. What the 6,191 means, basically, right here in this column, is that I still have 6,191 package failures to look at and to somehow summarize what the failure was. You know, I haven't analyzed any of those, basically. So, the numbers were the ones that are closer to 100 I could handle. When it gets to the 200s, you know, maybe I could break it down or something like that. There's also a few more packages that come up here and there where the hard links are in there and I haven't dealt with it yet. I might get one more here in chat. This blackened thing is, you know, so I gotta do the same routine, download. The source code's already downloaded, so I gotta upload it, download it back into Linux, hard link the interface, upload it, download it, and hopefully it'll actually build. But I'll set aside, and whenever I've done that, I'll put up the source up at Git, so the hard links are removed. It is a rarity that hard links are in the source tar, but it does happen at a rate of 1 in 100, and there's 10,000 there, or 11,000, so, and I've identified 4. On some of these, I'm probably just going to let the damn thing run. Just go through, and again, next category I'm going to do is actually the converters. And I'm going to work my way down. Eventually I'll update my stats. Eventually I might go back and look, and as I learn more, some of these errors say, oh, I know what to do about that. I know what to do about that. Also, as much as I can, I am putting... not completely. I'm not strictly... If the patch is easy, like adding a string as header, I just do a patch. You know, I don't do some script for that. But sometimes I'll just do most of the time when I think of it, I'll just do a setting. That is, I'll make a change to make.conf, one of the sub files for make.conf. That'll cause the package to build because it sends out the error and replaces the error with a fix. And I like that because, you know, I won't have to do it again. Unless, of course, unless the error actually disappears, or the file name changes, or the code goes somewhere else, or maybe they actually fix the issue so it works in Haiku, but again, the less amount of patching that I have to do, the better it is. There are some cases, some of these errors just don't seem to be solvable. And some I'm starting to recognize. Some may just be a very minor pathing issue. Like this VA list, I don't think it's ever really been resolved. There's been work on VA lists, but it's not really done. There's so many things to do to make an operating system. And it is good to start with POSIX, but to say you're not going to evolve from POSIX, of course, is bad. And then, you know, I'm getting some, again, this is at least, I'm going to try this number, what is this, 47, see if maybe this has been handled, actually. Once I quit playing, they acted like they weren't going to do anything, but, oh, well, I don't think it's a problem. That was the answer I got. I don't think it's a rat, it's not in there, but now it might not be. So I'm going to look for, where's this 47? Here we go. HPAC. Oh, never mind. Let's try HPAC and see if that's still a problem. I haven't actually tried anything. I expect this to fail, but whatever. And you know what? After I'm done with this run, since I'm probably gonna just put my packages up somewhere. We can download them and use them. If they want to do it that way. If they want to get started and don't have to build the stuff from source, they can. Also, my list of compile stoppers is starting to shrink. So FFTW is no longer an issue. Glut's no longer an issue. OCaml FineLib's not an issue. Orc is not an issue. Perl 5 curses is no longer an issue. So I'll see how things go. Pigeon still is. That's because I was getting... And there we go. So here's our... Here is our BSD header that, of course... is for Wi-Fi. That has a conflicting definition with the POSIX string header. So the way to deal with this, what is this? HPAC. Let's see if I can get this thing built. It's an arc directory. There it is. I gotta make a duplicate. Since we don't have write access, I can't just simply delete the useless BSD header. It's at least useless to me. I have to actually go get it. And turn it into a patch. So this is what's it looking for? String, huh? That's nice. File, copy. Right, where are we? Here. File, paste. I'm going to be doing a lot of these. That's what you get for treating your end users and developers like idiots. That's what they're doing. I mean, you know, give us write access. We're not dumb shits. I mean that seriously. Why don't we have write access? It's ridiculous. We should have write access. It doesn't matter how cool the package manager might appear or not, or you think it's going to be, or whatever. It's just disrespectful to your end users, or you're just telling people you don't give a fuck about them. Okay, so string. Just make this. That's what you're doing. You don't realize it, but you are. You're not taking care of them because they can't take care of their own problems, and they don't want you to, you know. You're just in the way. Okay, let's do it again. And I didn't realize before when it has a inconsistent or previous declaration. That means that we've defined a variable in one part of the system one way, and in another part of the system another way. So this is system H. What I just copied down. I didn't destroy that. Here's also, I'm noticing that there'll be some definitions in Haiku that the programmers assume are not going to be in the headers. This is one of the cases. So where are we? So this is string, the string header on line 70 that I just copied down. That's not editable. So someone actually, okay, so where's 70? You don't have write access to the system, and what you can do is this way. So it's a pain in the ass. Shouldn't have to do this. And if we need to edit our headers, god damn it, we should edit our headers. There it is. Don't need it, don't want it. Thank you very much. Now, if you don't do that, which is by most people considered to be a very odd way to handle things. Now, it failed during the link. Why is that? Fortunately, there is some kind of library issue, and fortunately, I don't really know what that is, but I could try library BSD maybe. Do you even have a make? There's a make file. Okay. Problem here is we're using L curses and not N curses. I didn't know that from experience. Second of all, it seems to want to have special stuff for various systems. I'm hoping that this is just the standard. Let's see how this goes now. If I don't find out what the I've never dealt with an undefined reference to tell. If I don't find out what this is, I won't be able to build this. That's the only. I could try Haiku. It would be very rare, but we'll see. Oh yeah, and I do have a compile of box. I don't know. You know what? I'm just going to try strings. What is this? Unix C. No, because it's already done that. So, this turned out to be a very bad presentation. Well, not very bad, but second of all, I probably should look at my library. It could be. First, I gotta figure out what it is, and then I gotta. Of course, patching a makefile isn't really proper. Let's try LBSD. What the hell? Why not? Probably not gonna. It didn't work. Okay. I don't think it could be library network. I mean, just love it. Could be library root. Could be any library. It could be library showstopper. It could be library tell. Without the quotes. It's some other, could be library B, but why would that? I could look at... there's another thing I could do. Go medieval on the library's ass. So, cd boot develop system. It's so drawn out. Library Z. An AV format. I think this will be Library Z. Let's see. I've actually never done that before. Cannot find like... I know there's something stupid I'm doing. This one is LZ, not Leipzig. Okay, then we got two choices. At least we did. Where's my other terminal? Minus LZMA. Kernel is kind of, well, different. Lav format. If it's there, then why is it? Okay, I'm gonna go in here. I think this should be LZ. I'm gonna go in here. See work. No, I can't. Damn it. Boot work archivers hpack cd work hpack. Oh, I guess there's no, okay, ls, there's stuff in, okay, there's stuff in here. Make clean. Aha, so yeah, you cheat there. Okay, now I'm gonna go back. Into package source. Try them again. Just, oh, if I made, no, make file will still be there even if I made clean. At least I think it will. See, what the hell is going on here? Where is this iCrypt? Of course, I have nothing for the BEOS, so no hints whatsoever. And this is the problem. It could be anything. But as you can see, I guess the point really was not to build this thing, but to show how sometimes our headers cause us problems. I guess I could look at my stat sheet here for other, but basically, I'm getting better at figuring out what I need to do to get some of these things solved, and it does mean doing some more unconventional things, because apparently we didn't do anything conventional to start with. So, like number 58 here, let's see what that is. That's a conflict with the BSD header once again. That's HPAC. I know there's another one here. 47, Stullerwer, previously declared. Tell me I got that twice. Come on, 47, where the hell are you? And I do. So, a lot of good that does have the same thing twice. So, that's why I thought it happened more than once, because I have two numbers for the same error. It's not great. Find some, there's another one that undefined reference to get patch. I already solved that one. Well, Cairo is built. Let's see which one wants Cairo. 73. File roller. Let's try that. This will be a new one. I did learn the 10 key, but I never did learn how to type. In case you're wondering why I only use one hand to type with. I can't type at super speeds, but I can. And these two old camels might work, actually, because it was missing the fine lib thing. Now it's doing it wants to install. Okay, so what is that? File roller? Oh no, we want to do gnome doc utils. Okay, well, let's do gnome doc utils. Hopefully that thing will work. But if it doesn't, I could just do a package add, but I'm hoping I'm not going to have this crap with the Zlib package deflate. Or Python with this XML problem. I have to fix Python. Alright, well that looks like it's going to work. At least that part, but we get back to file roller now. This is what I did. Just look at the errors. What kind of error is it? Let's see if I could deal with it. These are extra checks that, since I've been marked as a package developer in the make.com file, that it does to make sure everything's perfect, extra good. Okay, so Aphio here goes do it that way. It's missing something called sys macros. Of course, I can't move anything, so if I want to use sys macros, I got to copy it down. Because, of course, the developers have thought of everything, which is why it must be I'm making a mistake, and you're right. Where's sys macros? I don't even know if sys, do we have it here? Of course, it's not there. It's not found. I don't even know if we have a header called sys macros. So, maybe copied in from. Now, Archangel, I would love to do that because the guy that made package source is the guy that wrote Archangel. I'd love to figure out how to get to work, but there's just too many undefined variances. Okay, 74 here wants what? SCSI header. And some of these are older headers, and they've been renamed, and POSIX has done its own thing, and things are different now. So, all right, what's this error number 1? Oh, that might work. Let's try pbzip too, because I'm not having those issues anymore. How many of these things do I have going? CO camel. Oh, beautiful. That's done. Cross that off the list. Do the zip thing now. That'll work. My God. Let's do gcomp for a frickin' archiver. I mean, what the hell? So the number, yeah, archivers, I got best percentages ever. I got better percentages in the archivers than I have for fonts. I can cross that off. These installed. And then when I ever get around to it and decide I want to update lists and not build packages, I go in and I update my stats, and eventually I put them up in Git so people supposedly will be able to benefit from the information I provide here. Oh, I'm gonna have a problem with that. Number 9. I'm gonna have a problem with number 9. What's number 9? Okay, well. Gotta change that one. No, the better description is had broken symbolic link. There's no matching A file for that number 9. But somehow I was able to overcome that. No, I haven't. Not for Archangel. That's 19. That is make dev. No. In the function make dev, there's there we go. Another one. Another one bites dust. Okay, what else do we have here? 53 PBs up. 53 is what? Get load average is undeclared. I don't know what header would provide that. I could try to grep for it. 52. Okay, those are probably not going to show up. LR zip, what's that? 24. Get priority and get hash. Yeah, that might be PWD, but I'm not expecting gcomp to build. I have no experience with it, whether it will build or not. Jam jar probably requires jam, which is a mess. Yeah, it's not built yet. File roller, I'm working on. You know what's gonna happen? 19. Make dev. I just don't know what that is actually. So my numbers keep getting better as time goes on. Yeah, I learn more and whoop-de-doo. What I wanted to do is have people be in a position where they could just start out and know they're going to be able to do all this stuff And then all they have to port is the stuff that's left, and figure out how to get the stuff to work. Or maybe make slight changes to make it work a little better. You know what I mean? So what I'm doing here is getting things started, keeping things maintained. I still have a lot of stuff that has to do with Diger's stuff here. The GCCs, I'm hoping I could update the patches for that. The boost headers, hope Ruby, Tiny Proxy, Squid is more than just syssignal H. And, you know, Qt4 libs, Dante, and QEMU, and I had to build a QEMU before in my other systems. So it's kind of... Okay, so what do we got? We got 5. Actually, that's just gconf, whatever that is. It's got a G in front of it, so it's probably something I want. At least I would guess. So I'm pretty sure how many do I have here? 78. Wow. This is some development thing I probably already had built. It's 78. All right, let's go. Yeah, I'm liking this. I really want to get this fire roller. Fire roller seems like it's gonna be able to get somewhere. AFIO, what is the deal? See, I gotta figure out what sys macros used to do and see if we got the definitions somewhere else, you know. 46 xbin, what is that? Original error, so supposedly I overcame that. So if I overcame that, why is it still marked 46? Oh, shared MIME info. God damn. Where are we gonna get to file roller? Okay, where's xbin? Let's try it. Alright, so it's got all its dependencies. So this is going to try. I don't think I have a very descript error there. I already have glib2 built. This is a pretty good start. I mean, it's a really good start that I have here. I'm not unhappy with it. There are some major things missing, like Ruby, and you know, I gotta try these. You know what the hell happened there? T-zone storage side is unknown. I just don't know what that. I don't know what that is. But I do know that these PHPs are probably going to work now, because I should have PHP, or PHP will install. These are the ones I could not do last time. It's nice to have mouse integration. Is it PHP? Do your thing, damn it. I think 50 does that. Once cafe, that's not going to build. See, this is relying on Python 2. So I don't. You never know where it's going to find its stuff. Sometimes it relies on Python 27, sometimes it goes to Haiku's Python, you just never know. And then now, last time I tried this, it wouldn't link. All the PHP packages would not link. So anything I build now is actually either a result of some magic setting Diger has or an improvement to Haiku. Creating the lab tour. What would happen is it would do this lib tool thing, then it wouldn't, it's just like the FFTW, it just wouldn't link. Yeah, there, okay, so we don't have something or other. Cannot stat. I hate when it does this. Now it's a .la. If you ever happen to want to link against installed libraries, you must either use libtool, which was actually used, getting tired. Oh, and it wants pixbuff. God, what the hell? It's gonna go. With mod name shared. Thank you for the useful read only. This is something I'll put in the settings. I'm just gonna start all over again. Oh wait, maybe I don't. Yeah, start over again. Okay, start over again. Quit your whining. I don't know why they wouldn't do that in the first place. They would put a package list that wants the .so and not enable the shared object, okay? It tells me there's something else going on. Somebody does some weird shit. It wants the GDK pix buff, but it's not built yet. Overriding tools, this is the way we extract the source. Extract the source. It's taking forever. I can just sit here forever. This is never ending. I can try that. I can try that one. That's easy. I can try that one. Oh, try that one. Try that one. I can try that one. But that's the deal. It's like a swarm of bees. Building packages for Haiku is like dealing with a swarm of bees. It's not like any one problem is, well, some of them are, but not all of them. But there's a lot of them that are like, okay, well, oh, that solution, that's easy, Oh, it's easy, just swat the fly. But, but then there's 5,000 flies, and, that's, things become impossible, and, then you wonder why people are sitting there on camera talking about how great the package manager is going to be, when you wonder whether this stuff's going to build in the first place. Because, anyway, I'll stop there with that. So anyway, actually what I should probably do is not belabor this. Probably just start doing the builds for the comms. The comms. See how well things go. I'm going to get a few more builds that I didn't have before. It's just going to happen. What happened? Oh, we don't know that. We don't know the option that we suggested you use. Isn't that convenient? No, we weren't. Maybe it'll take it. Who knows? Now what the hell is it trying to install? XQWXY Zlib. Package needs XBuff Q puffin stuff. I already did all the development stuff. Of course, these are not in the development category. These are like in, well, the sysutils category. That's different. Build complete. Whoop-de-doo. Here's your broken package. Maybe. Oh, it's still broken. Yeah, we don't have a shared object. What do I have to do here? I mean, for fuck's sake. Probably not follow the directions. How about enable shared? How about this thing? Try it again. Yeah, this is what it was doing last time. It's real fun. Look at all these dependencies. God. X Rander, X Ripper, X Dancer, X Blitzen. I could cheat, just rename those, but I don't think they're actually the same thing. That's what I would have done a long time ago, but I've learned. Progress has its consequences. Are we gonna do this or what? Don't know the option. What the hell? Oh, that was the trash. Well, I have to go. Alright, okay, it's throw that to the trash. Try this damn thing once again. It's probably not gonna build. I'm probably gonna have any seed. I should stop right now. I don't know why it would be set up in a way that would actually create the wrong file. This is actually a package search bug. Okay, now X composite. Goddamn. How many dependencies for a frickin' archiver called file roller I've never used am I gonna need? Don't understand the configure argument. Enable shared. I'll probably just walk away from the PHPs and be happy. Don't have to use such crap software. Just joking. That's probably good. They're all good, and I'm gonna try to do all of them. So. Oh boy. Gonna build. Gonna build. Gonna build. Gonna build. Gonna build. You gonna build. Wow. All those dependencies for an xcomposite.lo. No, libxcomposite.la. Alright, well, it seemed like it was able to deal with my argument. Perhaps. Don't know if it understands that enable shared means make a .so. Thank you. Still might not know what my argument was. Let's see. Once it starts compiling, I'll feel like maybe it worked. Alright, so we got our stupid X composite. Are we doing anything else here? Oh no, it wants to do Pango. I'm not holding my breath on that one. Creating a lie, I hate libtool. Libtool never works. There's something fucking wrong with it. And Pango failed. And this will fail too. I'm going to stop. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Make your shirt off here. Okay, done. Anyway, I've done the important stuff. The rest is just garbage. Whoop-de-doo.